but I thought I'd take you through what I'm up to from literally the first sight of this temple thingy-majiggy through to whatever happens next, and then through the evening. So first sight, I always take a wide shot. Take a wide shot landscape, take a wide shot portrait. Then I've got options with those later on. It might not be the best photo, but it sets a scene for any of the details that come later. Right now there should be a red raft on this river just about to drop in front of this temple, which I'll get the name of later. And yeah, see the red raft? Oh. So I've made it down to the river level, almost. It's just down there to the side. There is a temple behind, a temple in front, and then this is Laksham Jula. That's the bridge that I understand. So the shots we made earlier were just setting the scene to where we are. The light's perfect. It's dropping nicely straight in onto here. Like I said yesterday in my other video, just underexpose it by half a stop, maybe one stop if it's super bright. It protects the highlights in your image, so your details are always going to be there. Generally, you'll be able to pull the shadows out of the picture, but if you screw the highlights, then your picture's stuffed basically. So I'm working in TV mode, slightly underexposing it, picking my shutter speed depending on the subject. So this subject doesn't really move, so a slightly lower shutter speed of 100/200th of a second will be absolutely fine. And that will give me a nice depth of field, so f8 to f11, something like that. These pictures have all been taken before, but these ones are mine. The light's beautiful. It's pretty peaceful down here. Bit of a shithole, this Ghat, you know, covered in broken stones, broken steps. Further up this way, there's some pictures or some statues of some deities. I don't know who they are, but they look good to photograph, but they kind of sitting on top of what you would call a bus stop or a rain shelter. So to take the wide picture is really to show you how these things truly look, and then as a photographer I'm trying to think how I can make it look a little bit more special, and there's always a way to Google and research all of this stuff after, but light doesn't wait around for you to look at Lonely Planet and figure out what the names of stuff are. So I'm down here making the most of the action, trying not to fall down one of these deadly holes. The next mission I'm going to have is I'm going to go down onto these rocks here and try and photograph through the rocks onto the temple with the mountains in the background. The light on the mountain, or the light on the temple, is very warm, and down here in the shade is a bit bluer, a bit cooler. So the contrast between the cool and the warm, and then the blue sky, if we can get some in with the mountains, is going to be pretty neat. It puts layers into the picture to create a bit more interest in the temple itself. Yep, the unknown temple again. I've moved a lot further upstream from the temple now. In fact, I'm closer to this temple, precariously balanced on a rock. And yeah, just making the most of the light while it's here. And the further I get from the other temple means that I can zoom further in to get a better perspective. It compresses the foreground, the background, and the temple a bit closer together. Sandwiches the river in the middle, and again, yeah, it gives a different perspective to the picture. You've got these nice grasses that are actually in front of the other temple. So again, you can sit back and shoot nice and wide and have the temple far in the distance, or you can move further back, zoom in through the reeds and compress the whole picture. Now I'm only using 24:105, so it doesn't compress as much as I'd love it to, but using that foreground element gives your image depth and a bit more va-va-voom. On closer inspection, I think it might be a hotel that looks a bit like a temple, but still quite photographic, photogenic. This is always about exploring. It's never about necessarily an outcome. You never know what you're going to get where you just go around a corner that you don't know what's there. Photography for me, when I travel, it means I don't have to spend money on anything. It means I move, take pictures, enjoy myself, and I see the nice leading line of the river, the other line of this bank on the right hand side converging in, and then the mountains behind, and it all comes into where the bridge and the temple with no name are. So, name are. Hour is 10 to 5, 6 o'clock sun goes down. It took me 45 minutes to walk down here. Probably going to take me about an hour to walk back up, and I've got another location that I want to get to. So although the light's getting nice and warm here, I think I've got the shots that I was ever going to get and that I want to get. All right, so I spoke too soon. I've walked up a different direction, got a completely different perspective of the unknown temple, and I've also found out how the builders have attached to the wire to charge their drill. Yeah, all right lads, that is definitely the safest way to attach your drill direct to a power line in the sky. Good job, they're spiritual dudes. Okay, so I just can't help myself. Each time I walk up a different direction, a new view occurs. So here it is, the unknown temple, and the main most popular bridge across the Ganges here in Rishikesh, and that's why it's not working, because they're building another one. Sensible guys. So I think that's possibly the last view we'll get, but don't trust me on that one. So the beauty of this is the journey and the adventure just keeps going on. So I've just found a left turn that's going to take me further downstream, which will allow me to be the sunny side of the bridge, which might give us a view underneath the bridge to the unknown temple. So let's see. Just walking down the streets right now, sun's blazing over there. So yeah, we end up down at a beach. The bridge is this way, so we're going to walk that way down onto the beach and see what we can shoot back up that way. You can see in the background these boys, they're skimming stones into the Ganges. That's why there's no small ones left, but I found one, dropped in, 7 skims, champion. I haven't seen anyone beat 7. Oh!
Now it happened.
The road is absolutely mental, not just with cars, but with all the vegans walking back with their bags of onions for their tea, while I'm just craving some chicken or a steak, but you can't get it here, so I'm shit out of luck until next Monday. Alright, so just in time I've made it to the lookout at VJ's Pizza. The sun is just setting on the corner of the building above the River Ganges. These are the 2 bridges that we were at last night. And so I'm just going to take a few pictures before that disappears behind the corner, and then that will be game over on the shoot for tonight. But thanks for joining me. So the unnamed temple is the Terra Manzil Temple, and that's about all you're getting from me on that. But here it is. Sun setting, monkey on a bridge. What else do you want? What more do you need, eh? Monkey on a bridge.